Chapter 6. Unlocking Your Mind Power. As mentioned earlier, harnessing the power of the mind requires patience and continuous practice. Just as the farmer who sows waits through the planting season to harvest, time elapses before what is being nurtured in the mind becomes manifest. Your subconscious and unconscious mind, which takes about 92% of the entire brain, play a great role in this regard. It remains ever active both day and night, gathering pieces of information with varying degrees of usefulness. These parts of the mind provide creativity, intuition, and inspiration to different interactions in the real world. So how can you unlock the power of your mind? Number 1. Employ the use of visualizations. Practice makes perfect. Mastering a certain skill or habit requires lots of practice and repetition. Through repetition, the neural networks performing a specific action are strengthened. Although many persons are aware of the essence of repetition and its impact, only a fraction of them is aware that the same effect can be achieved by the visualization of the specific action to be learned. This same principle applies to harnessing the power of the mind. This is because the brain cannot differentiate between the visualization of action and performing the action itself. So, if you're going to perform a task or simply visualize it, the brain carries out the same procedures. Through visualization, you can access your mind's power. This will further help in adjusting traits, behaviors, attitudes that are undesirable. This is possible by visualizing an outcome that you desire for a specific task. With much conviction, faith, and detail, repetitively carry out a specific visualization regularly will enforce the desired outcome on the deeper layers of the mind. The subconscious and unconscious layers of your mind will accept your visualization as real-life experiences, rolling along with the laws of attraction, then gradually manifest your desired objective. Number 2. Focus. Focus is essential in directing all our actions in the direction of a specific outcome. An uncontrolled and irregular thinking pattern disrupts focus, hence limiting the chances of obtaining a specific result. This makes channeling all our actions to an outcome unattainable. So stop every unproductive thought from lingering about in your mind. Control it as they come. Do not give every idea an opportunity to access your mind. Because it comes up through your mind does not mean that it should be entertained. Your thoughts and actions can be directed on your goal by focusing on the mind's power. Recall the law of attraction. Like for like things attract. You will certainly attract what you desire when you focus. Understanding this universal law will position in a better place to harness the power of the mind. If your focus is directed to your worries and fear, you will attract similar things to yourself. When you are focused on success, happiness, joy, and other positive thoughts, you attract positivity to yourself. Remember, toxic thoughts offer no benefit and will add no value to you. Try your utmost to discard them as they come. Number 3. Maintain awareness in line with your thoughts. To keep in touch with the mind's power, it is necessary to keep a conscious watch over what is entertained by your thoughts. Most times, we spend a large amount of time dealing with the everyday challenges we are facing. It is naturally to neglect or pay less notice of our thoughts. This should not be the case. To gain complete control of the mind and utilize its power, we must pay attention to the thoughts that come into and leaves our minds. Observe what brings excitement to mind and what brings fear. This will help you manage your mind and further tap into its power. Number 4. Deal with the confirmation bias. The confirmation bias is the tendency for the mind to interpret a piece of information in line with an existing belief in the mind. This is a concept of the human mind that different studies have revealed to exist with the provision of ample evidence. It is very important to know about its existence, as we can easily fall prey to its influence. The brain does this with a view to save energy rather than the intent of fooling or deceiving you. This is because linking information to a set of beliefs already existing in the mind is way easier than analyzing, processing, and interpreting new information. The existence of the confirmation bias simply implies that any information will be linked to a belief in its line of thought regardless of it being negative or otherwise. As earlier discussed, negative thoughts, beliefs, and feelings yield negative actions and energy. Eventually, this is bad in getting full control of the mind. If you want to take charge and harness the power of your mind, it is imperative that you overcome this mental process understood as the confirmation bias. Overcoming this bias will put you in a pivotal position in controlling your mind. Number 5, break free from self-limiting beliefs. Thoughts contributing to self-doubt should have no room in your mind if you are to harness its power. Such self-limiting thoughts can be identified through thinking patterns. They might have been picked up at different stages in life and have been suppressed in the unconscious section of the mind. These thoughts make us doubt our abilities, hence limiting our achievement. Usually, we have no conscious idea of this process and simply accept it as part of our capabilities. To break free from limiting thoughts and ideas, identify the root of such thought in the first place. When you know where it stems from, you will be able to define its legitimacy. Most times, we will discover that such beliefs are wrong and are not based on facts. They are simply figments of our imaginations playing a trick on our mind and restricting our potentials. Number 6, flush out negative thoughts. There are toxic thoughts everywhere. We all experience them every now and then. Our progress and achievement are at huge risk with them lurking around. Thoughts that give no benefit must be dealt with. They must be trashed and flushed out of the system as they are toxic and harmful. If they are left to dwell in the mind continually, they will be fully ingrained, proving very influential, hence controlling the mind. Negative thoughts are certain to hinder your progress. They will prevent you from harnessing the power of your mind. When you identify them, weed them out. The next outlined step is what should be done next. 7, inject positive thoughts. The mind must be occupied. When idle, it is easy for different streams of thoughts to occupy it, either negative or positive. Also, if it is not occupied after uprooting thoughts that are not beneficial, it becomes easy for such a line of thinking to reoccur. So it is important that you fill your mind with positive thoughts. Positive thoughts are supportive beliefs that propel you to reach your full potential. They are not inborn, rather they are introduced into the mind. To erase those negative beliefs entirely, we must continually challenge our belief system. Such periodic evaluation will help us reassess what we stand for and highlight ideas that offer no benefits whatsoever. The mind becomes gradually restructured with the planting of positive thoughts. Although it won't come easy, it eventually leads to a better life. Number 8, watch out for those habits. The unconscious mind, as previously discussed, is largely responsible for habits and influencing behavioral-like patterns. This helps the brain utilize its power resources effectively. Once the brain allows the mind to carry out its routine, it becomes easy for negative habits and traits to be exhibited. When that eventually occurs, uprooting it becomes very difficult. Removal of negative habits from the unconscious and subconscious levels of the mind becomes imperative if you are to harness the mind's power. What will you do?